So thank you very much for being here, guys. Today we're going to talk about digital luxury. We invited Karim, Fabio, and Anaë to talk about their companies and about their professional background and about their experience in IUM as well. I thank all of you for being here. I just want to ask you if you can introduce a little bit yourself about what you do, what the company you work in, and a little bit of background in your academic history as well. If you want to start, Karim.
Yes, okay. My name is Karim Bouhajeb. I'm a adjunct faculty, at the IUM since 2015 or 16 now. I am lecturing digital marketing and digital media in luxury and CRM, as well as some other topics such as clienteling and omni-channel strategies. I'm a passionate about digital, of course, and I'm truly passionate about luxury fashion. I started my career at 30 years ago, okay, as a media director, then of course in an advertising agency, then of course I moved on to a marketing director's position in several fashion, ready-to-wear, luxury, and of course fast-moving consumer goods industries. Today I'm a professor, I'm a consultant, and I am a professional trainer for several fashion companies. And of course, working with the young designers and helping them to grow their business.
Okay, I go second if you want.
Yes, you second.
Thank you. So my name is Anaë. I've been at your seat 2 years ago. Now I'm working in digital in luxury management. I am an e-commerce manager for a gastronomic brand in Paris. I started first my studies in international trade. I did it close to Montpellier, south of France. Then I wanted to do a focus on international business and in luxury because I'm passionate too about that field. So I did a bachelor in marketing of luxury goods and services in Monaco. And I finished my studies with a MSc in luxury brand management 2 years ago before COVID. While during my studies, I did several internships. During my BTS, which means like 2 years after the bac in France, I had 3 internships, one in marketing, one abroad that I did in Barcelona, and a last one in logistics that I did in Monaco. During my bachelor, during the summer, I did an internship in Monaco as a digital assistant in Engel and Volkers, which is now closed, but they still continue with luxury real estate, but they closed the yachting department, I guess. And I also participated as a voluntary person during different events that the IUM proposed, such as the Monaco Fashion Week. I was also someone that welcomed a person during the Monaco Yacht Show, all free, all on voluntary basis, but that allowed me to put myself in the shoes of a professional during, let's say, one night or 1 week, and also to meet people and to see from far, from external eyes, what are the tasks sometimes during business events, during also the Monaco Yacht Show when I worked in yachting. And after my master, it was COVID time. I was looking for my final internship, and I did it in the Société Générale Private Banking in Monaco as a chef de project manager in digital. So due to COVID, a lot of aspects of the missions were reduced, such as the eventual part. And the IUM allowed me to do a second internship at the end of this final internship that was supposed to be the end of my studies and the moment where I was supposed to find a job. And I did a second internship as a digital assistant in Paris, in the gastronomic group I work on still. I work in steel. I had my first job opportunity full-time in that company. I was junior project management in digital, and since January, I had the opportunity to become the manager for the business unit. And yeah, here I am. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be a guest speaker for my previous school. Mr. Bouhajeb was my professor in bachelor, and it's a pleasure to be here today. And Gauthier, I leave you the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So I'm Fabio. I graduated TUM in 2018. I did a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. And I also had Mr. Bouhajeb as a professor, incredible professor. After EUM, so actually during EUM, I did an internship. It was in an influence agency. And after my internship, I had one more year of studies to do, and I was actually finishing my diploma at UM and in the same time already fully employed in this influencer agency. When I graduated, I continued in influence, etc. I went in the Bouhajeb group, for those who know. I created for 2 years digital marketing agencies for companies, B2B. And since March of last year in 2022, I'm head of social media and influence at Viva Technology. For those who don't know Viva Technology, it's a joint venture between Publicis Group, so one of the biggest group in communication in the world, and Les Echos, Le Parisien group, which is now owned by LVMH. So yeah, it's LVMH and Publicis. And basically, I'm managing the whole team, social media, influence, and working all year long for an event that lasts 4 days. For some people, it's a little bit crazy, but it's a huge event. It's the biggest European startup and tech event that happens in Paris each year. So yeah, that's for me. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm very happy to be with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. So I just want to start talking about the industry you're working in. If you can give us more details about the differences that you have faced traveling in your different positions and moving to Monaco, working in Monaco and also in other countries. If you have found any difficulties and any challenges in dealing with negotiation with other clients, with other cultures, how you have managed to overcome the situations and how you're dealing with these changes and in communication as well. So if you want to give us some more details about it, Karim first.
Well, on my side, I worked with several different cultures in my career, and let's say that recently, I had a consulting for an Indian international trade show, and yes, let's say the culture is slightly different, and of course, we have to adapt to local sensitivities. This is part of course, our our motto, and yes, we let's say that with this experience plus the second one, which is a Lebanese experience in Beirut, I have to say that the digital knowledge is totally different from one country to the other. And it means that we have to align these companies, which is not as easy as we can think about. Okay, it's a matter, there is a degree of maturity which is totally different from one region to the other. And this is how, digital expertise is needed. And of course, understanding the local sensitivities and cultures are part of our let's say, our professional skills in order to help them grow their business. This is something important. Monaco is, of course, a place that really combines all different cultures. And this is, of course, with my weekly venues in Monaco, this is what I have deeply appreciated, is that, let's say, mix of culture and that mix of different knowledge and different, of course, understanding makes the courses even richer than anywhere else.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, when it comes to like traveling and meeting different cultures, it's also a different type of networking as well and connection that you're doing with clients. So it's really important also to adapt your personality with the type of clients you have in front of you as well when it comes to sales. So as you pointed out before, going to Lebanon and then traveling to with other countries like Paris, India, so you have different type of totally different people and you have to adapt your business as well. So that the revenue stream is always different how money comes in. So yeah, totally agree with that. And what about you, Fabio and Anaë? Can you give us more details about like how you have faced the situation when it comes to dealing with other cultures or when dealing with other people in negotiation, especially?
From my side, I don't have that negotiation part in my job. I would say that luxury in France, from a professional point of view, it's mainly centralized in Paris. Mr. Bouhajeb, please let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, if you want to work in luxury in France, I think you're obliged at some point to come to Paris because in the I mean, not in a office place. Usually, you tend to work in quarters or stuff like that, which are centralized in Paris. Um, and yeah, regarding the cultural aspect, I would say that it depends your business. Um, but it's quite easy to know nowadays what are the type of clientele that is emerging or mature. You can have some good content about that or good lectures about that if you are reading some stuff in the luxury field, such as Bain report, Bain company report, the Journal du Luxe also. Mr. Bouhajeb has his own blog, I guess, also. So you can have good lectures and be aware what's going on, where it is opening, where it's increasing, stuff like that. So.
Okay, and on my side, so I would say how to interact with different type of people in terms of cultural aspects. First of all, so in my industry of the influence marketing and influence industry, in general, so you're speaking with people that are from all over the world. So by definition, they all have different cultures, different ways to work, different ways to talk with them and do collaborations. So there is already this point. And also I don't know if it's in terms of cultural aspect, but there's also something about influence that there's almost no regulations. So it means that not everybody obeys to the same rules, which sometimes it's a little bit disappointing when you try to do things in a good way. But we can talk about this later. And then different things I had to handle. I don't know, it's an influence, you have a bad buzz, you have to react quickly before the press and the media is going wild, or the social media. And in terms of partners and customers, at Vivatech, we have so many partners from big corporations like LVMH, L'Oreal, Google, but also we have a lot of startups that can be very small or can be huge, like, I don't know, Doctolib. So of course, for each of them, we address them differently. They have ways to work that are totally different. So we try to adapt based on the cultural aspects of the country and also based on each sector. Brands, for example, in luxury will not be the same than only a tech brand. Or so yeah, it's challenging sometimes, but at least you're never bored.
Exactly. I just want to go back a little bit to your academic background. I know that Anna and Fabio did the IUM. Fabio did the bachelor, Anna did the bachelor and masters. Can you give us some more information about like your internship, how the university helped you to find the first internship, and how this internship has played an important role when it comes to your position that you have today? Do you think it has helped you a lot, or have you managed to find the position you're now working in by yourself? How's your career, and how did you manage to find your position now?
On my side, I think I'm actually pretty lucky because, as I was telling you, I got my internship 1 year before the end of my bachelor at IUM. And since this internship, I've never been unemployed. So it means I did the internship, then 1 year of contract in the same time with the studies. Then I continued in this agency. Then I went to Bouhajeb without leaving work, without few months at home, let's say. And then from Bouhajeb Group, I was directly contacted on LinkedIn to come and work at Vivatech. So I would say in my case, thanks to the University of Monaco, since the first internship and the only internship I did at IUM, I got employed and I continued my road since then.
For me, as far as I remember, there were a lot of help regarding your documents, such as the CVs, the teacher or the teacher where the agreed to make recommendation letter if you had good points to showcase or to highlight your candidature. There are also a lot of professional events during the year, so that you can meet digital luxury players that were looking for some people to hire. And yeah, you could participate in a lot of stuff, digital, or also asking for help with the person working in the IUM. There are also people coming to the school to explain a little bit more their daily jobs in different fields. We had yachting, we had also private aviation. We had also wines and spirits. So thanks to that kind of events and that kind of meetings, you can perhaps keep in touch, and you never know who you will be in front of in the next future. So yeah, you can extend your network thanks to that, thanks to your presence in the school. And the career service is always happy to help you to make sure your candidature documents are well and aligned with the company you're applying with. So
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And the point that you just pointed out, network is really important for IUM. It's one of the strengths in IUM. So like to connect students with professionals and events in Monaco that can help you out to grow your network. And then from there you can find internship, you can find job opportunities. You can also find like sales opportunities for your company. So to use your network to increase, to improve. And do you think that network is as important as technical skills, or technical skills are more important than network?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you read the latest figures about the employment world, but usually you tend to be more hired like in a gray, like it's hidden, like some of the offers are hidden. So yeah, you can spend all your days on LinkedIn, but sometimes it's like you have one conversation with the right people at the right moment and you're employed. So yeah, that's unfair, but that's how it works nowadays, I guess. Please let me know, Mr. Bouhajeb, what do you think? Please, Fabio, let me know. So
No, I think personally that to answer your point, yes, yes, working at LinkedIn is always good, but as you said, you know, having the right person, being at the right time, at the right place, and you know, at the right moment is something extremely important. So you know, you never know, and you can meet someone, you know, and of course get a specific offer that is extremely important. On my side, you know, I do organize lots of, I love this word, immersing, sorry, let's say students into the field. This is also another good opportunity to meet people, you know, and of course to shake precious hands that can, of course, leverage enormous opportunities. So the maximum you can, of course, mix and match professionals with students. This is exactly how you can leverage, of course, new opportunities. Yes, clearly, clearly.
Yeah.
And on my side, just to add, I totally think that networking is essential, and it's just like you say, Anaë, it's how it works nowadays. And more than networking, I think what is important today is personal branding. So how even people that don't know you, how will they know you, and how do you want people to be interested in you? Just for example, by looking a LinkedIn profile. Talking about LinkedIn, for example, I think that it's less and less the case that, you know, you find job offers there and you can apply. Okay, this is one thing, but there's also a lot of cases where you don't apply anywhere, and just based on the contents and based on your relationships, your networks that you're building, job offers will come to you. And yeah, networking is very important. In my case, for example, I always try to have at least one coffee per week with someone in the ecosystem, in the tech ecosystem, luxury or not luxury, and that I don't know, to try to know them, what they're doing. Sometimes there's nice collaborations after that. So and I think that's really important. From a lot of people I know that are young and starting to be successful, it's always the network, and it doesn't mean that you need to have the network before starting. I didn't have it, and a lot of people I know didn't have it necessarily. Of course, we start with a good base by, you know, having studied at IUM, knowing people already, important people, thanks to IUM. But even if you don't have, some people have a lot of network since the beginning, you can make it. You just have to invest in personal branding, and then job opportunities will come to you without applying.
Course. And also all these networking events that we have in Monaco, and the possibility to give a first impression in person in front of somebody else is crucial. And also, for example, luxury days and finance days and sport days in the university, you can meet professionals and you could try to have interviews so you can practice your skills in interviews. That can be helpful in the future when it comes to having a real job opportunity. You have to have an interview for like your real position. So yeah, I just want to ask you, Fabio and Anna, why did you decide to go to IUM, and why did you decide to move to Monaco? Is there something in particular that pushed you to move to Monaco and choose IUM, or and now did you find out about this university?
Fabio, you want to go first, or?
Let's go. No, I wanted an international university. I knew I wanted to study business in general, marketing, etc. I found the University of Monaco, and one of the main reason, honestly, was what we were talking just before, was the network relationships that is more easy, if we're 100% honest, in the IUM than in other universities or schools. And I was just happy with the, you know, with all the program, what was proposed. I actually applied, to give you the full story, I applied in Canada and in Monaco, in different universities. And I chose in the end to come to Monaco, and I'm very happy today because I can see the whole road I did, and for now it's doing good. So it means it was a good choice for me to come at IUM. So yeah, that's it for my side.
From me, I chose Monaco because I knew it was a melting pot place. I'm from Nice, so I was living in Nice and do the daily basis going back. Also, I wanted to be completely immersed in an international place, talk fully English with my colleagues. I mean, with my peers and also with my teachers. And also, what I liked it was the fact that the professors you have in front of you are not just professors, but really experts in their fields, all of them. So that's what has been important in my point of view.
Also, if I can add, I was thinking, you know, when you do a master in luxury, for example, I mean, which better place than Monaco to do it? Already on paper, a master of luxury at Monaco, in Monaco, it's already unique, you know.
Guys,
the place for connecting people.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
exactly this. It's exactly this.
Exactly. And also, as I said before, the relationship with professor is it's totally different to other universities because the university is really small. You get connected with professor pretty easily, so they're really understandable, and you can easily just connect with them as well. So yeah, I just want to ask you a few more questions about your current job that you're doing right now. What do you love most about this job? And what advice would you give to students if they want to pursue the career that you are doing right now? If
Go
you,
ahead.
Karim, if,
Oh, Karim, sorry. Mr.
Okay.
Bouhajeb.
Yes, let's say the most precious gift is, of course, to meet, you know, people, to understand their problematic. Okay, very often they have different problematics. They have different objectives, and of course, you see that digital can answer to several objectives at the same time, which, of course, is extremely important. Very often, clients they do believe that digital is only is restricted to social media. But of course, when you kind of dig a little bit more, you kind of understand and realize, and they realize it's more than social. It's the social aspect of the brand's life is extremely important. Okay, it's the part of living. Okay, but as well you have other aspects that are extremely important, such as search. Okay, such as of course influence marketing is obviously something extremely important, but as well, you know, email marketing, affiliation, etc., display. I mean, all this is important, and they generally, when they start the consulting, they just see, you know, the most obvious, let's say, visible which is social. But in fact, social is probably like the deep web, you know, and that versus the surface web. Only 4% of the visible digital part, okay, and you have 96% of digital that is hidden, okay, that they don't necessarily think about, and that is, of course, extremely important in a global recommendation you're giving them, okay.
Andrea, can you repeat the question?
I was asking what do you love most about your job, if you want to give some advice, any advice to students that want to work in the same industry that you're working right now.
Well, I guess it's pretty basic, but work in an industry that you like. You will work a lot of hours, not counting your hours. At least I think if you want to succeed, that's the way to go. So do something you like. What I like the most in my job is, you know, is the fact to be to work all year on a strategy that has to do with news, education, etc., on tech, and then you have 4 days of events. So it's another dimension, another strategy with a huge impact, because it's to give you an idea, on social media last year in 4 days we reached almost 500 million people, and we did more than 3 billion views. So it's pretty huge. And the last thing that one of the main thing, let's say, that I like also is to be in contact with the amazing partners. Again, you know, it's you jump on a call, you're with the marketing director of YouTube EMEA, then you're with I don't know, La Poste Group, then you're with LVMH, and even with LVMH, one time you're talking about I don't know, Givenchy, one time you're talking about Dior, one time. So it's very different. You never get bored. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, I agree, Fabio. You never get bored. What I liked is mainly the variety of tasks you have. What we do, it's from my side, I manage a website and all the digital strategy for a group, and we try to embark a maximum of person or leads during all the life cycle of the clients, which means from brand awareness to make them purchase their first orders on the website, and then there is a big part of retention and fidelization through their journey, so that they can broadcast your brand and be your free publicity, let's say. So as Mr. Bouhajeb said, there is a lot of tools. There are a lot of tasks, and what I like to do is to be the coordinator between all the third parts. We can be external or internal. What I mean in internal, it can be the director of communication, the logistics person, the in-store person too, that you have to train so that they can sell the products as you want, stuff like that. So we are all aligned. External, it can be your partners, the agencies you're working with, because I don't have the technical side from my part. Like, I don't know how to code or stuff like that. So we are calling external companies to do so. Yeah, and we are working also depending on calendar that we try to elaborate 1 year in advance. So as I told you, I'm working in gastronomy, so you know that you have events that come every year, such as it's mainly seasonal business. So you have to be super ready for the last quarter of the year, which means from September until January next year. You have also a big part with the wine and the wine industry, such as the, how do you say that? Like Beaujolais Nouveau, stuff like that, or Offre Primeur, stuff like that. There is a lot of, there is also the fact that you have the sun coming back, so you can put the rosé in front of your website. So yeah, you have to animate that community, and to make sure that your website is aligned with what's going on during the year. And there is a part also of analyze and a big part of recommendation, but benchmarking what your competitors are doing in terms of brand content, in terms of image, in terms of partnership with some brands, in terms also of going deeply into your products gam, how do you say that, range, in your product range. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, you year after year you try to analyze what worked, what didn't work, and you try to do better with the help of your colleagues, of course, and of the department in your company. So yeah, I like to be the interlocutor of a different person, internal, external, and to have this business aspects that you want to achieve at the end of the year. Because I don't know for you, Fabio, but I suppose your contract is with objectives too. So yeah, it's always challenging, and we try to get close every time by our efforts, and to as far as I understood, you have also a management task, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have objectives, and that's the proof that even if you're not in the sales team, you can have some objectives with the I don't know how you say it, but you know, your
bottom line.
Yeah, no, the remuneration that depends on your year, depending on what you're reaching.
Incentive.
Yeah, you have a fixed wage and a variable wage depending on your.
Exactly.
I don't know. You negotiate it.
Exactly, and for all my team, even if you are, for example, a community manager, you always have a fixed salary plus something that is variable. Personally, I think if you don't have at least the small parts of variable, it's difficult for a lot of people to try and exceed your goals and do better. So I think it's really important for everyone, and it benefits in the end the company.
And we measure that thanks to KPIs. So beware during your class what we are talking about when talking about KPIs. And yeah, regarding management aspects, usually you are not managing people after 2 years of experience, but that's my case. So I try to be as collaborative as possible, and my two teams person, I try to make them feeling good at work, to enjoy their day, to be to gain competencies in what they like to do, and to grow their competencies, because at the end that's what I wish them the best. And also a tips, I would say, the tools that you will use on your daily basics, like you have CRM tools, you have also design tools such as the Packadob or Canva. Regarding sales and business, you have also Salesforce Cloud, Adobe Campaign. So it's very large, and the more you tend to train yourself or just know what it is, the best it is for you, because usually the big companies are asking that you know how to use them.
Yeah, I think it's definitely key to know those kind of tools, and some job offers, if you don't know them, it's just finished for you. And just to talk a little bit quickly about the management that we mentioned, it's also important, and I think the more we move, that you don't have to be a manager to succeed. Some people in some areas are not a manager by choice because they don't like to do this, and they're totally fine with it, and they're more classified as experts in some fields, etc. On my side, for example, I love to have a team, so it's not my problem. And yeah, it's something amazing to grow faster when you manage a team, because you learn to be more pragmatic, to say things in a different way, especially when your team is young and has to learn from you, and you learn from them too. And yeah, in my case, to give you an idea, so I've been working since 6 years now. Yeah, 6 years. My team is 5 people the whole year, and then during the events, it goes up to like 15 to 20 people with journalists, photographers, etc. And it's totally fine. But again, there's some other people in my company, for example, they are at my same level, if I could say. But for them, it's just no. They don't want to manage a team, and they just want to be an expert in a specific field. And it's totally fine for the company and totally fine for them.
So guys, thank you very much for your time. I'm done with questions. I don't know if the audience has any question. I can't see the screen. IUM now. I don't know if in the chat there's anybody that wants to ask a question. Raise your hand, and also in the room if there's anybody that has a question. Let's wait a minute to see.
During that time, probably I can add something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I really like what Anaë and Fabio said, and of course, yes, proving that you can have definitely an impact on the marketing KPIs is something fundamental. But as well, you know, proving your teams and especially the commercial teams that you can have an impact on the return on investment, you know, is another a very important aspect of the digital positions today. In terms of leads, in terms of turnover, in terms of so all this is extremely precious. Okay, I think, and I can say that there is non digital expert that is not, let's say, assigned to commercial KPI, commercial return on investment or marketing KPIs for sure. It's extremely important.
I would say that e-commerce is like commerce but online, so you have the same rules to respect. It's just that you have different means to achieve your goals, but it looks like a shop. I mean, you have these logistic aspects, you have these client service aspects, you have the stock management aspects, the training of your sales team aspects. So yeah, it's really interesting, and you have this merchandising side, which is the way you will showcase your products online. You have this the shooting parts also, shooting, image. So yeah, it's like you have a shop but online.
And I think if we have to add something, waiting that questions.
Yeah, I hope there'll be anybody asking questions.
I think that those KPIs are really important, but you also want to aim higher and be innovative in some way. If I think, for example, of the luxury industry and everything that has been going on with Web3, artificial intelligence, and all of those subjects, now the people that are hired in those companies, and that, trust me, they're paid really, really well, are people that just got interested to those subjects since the beginning.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to have 20 years of experience to have a super high position in luxury sector for those specific aspects. For example, in tech, you just have to know it. And sometimes in everything that has to deal with innovation, you will know it if you get interested at the right time at the beginning. So yeah.
I don't think there are any questions. If you want to add something, please do. If you have anything else to say, to students, any advice, whatever you want to say. Otherwise, there's no question, I guess.
I was just about talking. Yes, I wanted to add a few things about, of course, the biggest trends today in terms of job positions for the students. You know, it's enormous. I mean, today when I enter a room, you know, and I see students, I just tell them, you know, 70% of this class is going to work and occupy digital positions in the next couple of years. And you don't know it yet, but it's for sure, because there is a huge digital transformation everywhere, okay, that is occurring. So these positions, okay, go up to, of course, the most obvious one is digital marketing expert, but there is the growth hacker, e-merchandising expert, omni-channel manager, influence marketing manager, and so on, social media listening and social media intelligence specialist, traffic acquisition leader, ECRM and clienteling expert, EPR and e-showroom expert. And the last one that I saw, you know, a few months ago is Gucci that hired a metaverse director. Okay, so it's just to come back to the point of Fabio. It's exactly this. I mean, new positions are still not invented. We don't know what's going to be the future, and of course. students will invent their new positions for sure in digital. It's so rich, and so exciting. It's such an environment that is evolving constantly.
And I would like also to add the points of the soft skills, because we talked about technical skills, but soft skills are as important, I guess. I mean, there are a lot of applicants that have totally the good competencies to be hired, but since they didn't behave so well or did something that wasn't appropriate, they lost the opportunity. So yeah, don't forget that you are in the professional sphere, and the person that you are in front of today can be your boss tomorrow. So yeah, try to behave as professionally as possible while staying yourself, of course, in that journey.
Thank you very much, Anaë. Thank you, Karim. Fabio, were you about to add anything, or otherwise?
Yeah, I would just say something maybe a little bit corporate, but if there are some students that plan to open a company, if you have amazing ideas, if maybe you already have a startup, we have a lot of challenges at Vivatech that are open, especially one in luxury that is starting to be very famous, the LVMH Innovation Awards. You have different categories, such as omni-channel and retail, immersive digital experience, sustainability and green tech. So I invite you to check all of this. Some challenges are only dedicated to luxury. It's the case with LVMH, for example, and then you can have a chance to integrate and be in their hub of startups. So yeah, don't hesitate to check this if you plan to be more on the entrepreneur side.
Thank you, Fabio. So I think that we can close the session. Thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you for your information that you shared with us. And let's keep in touch then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a nice evening.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.